Well, I've done it again. I've been Halloween shopping on Amazon. It's true, around this time of year when the Halloween decorations and Halloween props and books and movies and all the wonderful Halloween things start to come out, turns out Amazon is a wonderful place and a frightening place. Wonderful for all of us Halloween nerds, but a little bit frightening for our pocketbooks. But I do indeed have a new Amazon haul for this year, 2022. So I'm going to go through some of the fine products I've got. I'll do little mini reviews, talk about what I've got, and you can see some of the literally millions of products on Amazon. I should make it clear right from the start, while most of these are things that I purchased, and so there's no potential conflict of interest, a few of them I did get free copies of for purposes of writing reviews. I'm not paid for my opinions, however. My opinions are my own. You'll see that while I do like most of the things, there are going to be some that I'm going to have some less than kind words about, but that's okay. Mostly I got good stuff, so I'll warn you off of a couple of things. I will introduce you to some wonderful new products, and of course I'll be putting links down in the What's It so you can check out any of these products for yourself if you're interested in doing so. While you're down there reading the What's It, and you'll also find links to all of my other projects down there, by the way, while you're down there reading that, be sure to do all of the other things that help me to grow this channel. Like this video, leave a comment, share it with your friends. In fact, share all of my videos with your friends. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and ring the notification bell. All of those things help make it possible for me to keep making wonderful horror videos for all of y'all. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right to it. The first thing I got, actually not the first thing, the most recent thing I got, the first on our list, are these mugs. I've got this one and Dr. McCoy has this other one. And you can see they are jack-o'-lantern faces on the one side, and on the other side, this one says trick, and this one, from which I've been drinking, so I'm being more careful with it, says treat. So those are wonderful little things, nice little coffee mugs or vessels for whatever sort of Halloween drink you might be consuming. And so these mugs are actually the first thing that I quite like. They're inexpensive, they're reasonably well made, they are not dishwasher safe, but I am perfectly pleased with these mugs. Cheers. And then next up, since it's right here on the table, I got this little box of lights. These are battery-powered lights for pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns. If you click them once, they flicker. You can see it flickering a little bit, I think, even with the bright camera lights on. Or if you click it again, it becomes a solid light. They also come with a remote control. And in fact, said remote control can control all of these at once, as you can see, like so. These are also the ones that are currently illuminating our little pumpkin friend here. I have a lot of these things. There's a lot of companies that make these. I have encountered many different brands of them over the years. I'll link to this particular brand. I can't remember the brand name, but these are as good as any. I'm perfectly happy with these. These are great if you're using the artificial pumpkins, the carvable foam pumpkins, because while I am a traditionalist and I prefer to use a real candle, you can't use a real candle. You can't use a real flame with the artificial pumpkins. So these are great for those. And I'm always happy to get another set of these. The next item I have is a wonderful way of serving treats. That is this little rack with 3 cauldrons that you can use for holding whatever kind of treats. I think the idea behind this, the original idea, was that this would be for trick or treat, and you'd put your different candies in the different cauldrons and then you could bring it to your door and hand out trick or treats. I don't think it's best for that purpose. Instead, I think this is best as a sort of centerpiece for your Halloween table. Technically, I think you could get away with something like cheese dips or salsas in these, but I think they're going to be better for chips or candies. In any case, they are a great way of serving something. And yes, it's just cheap construction, nothing particularly fancy about it, but I do think this is a nice way of serving some sort of Halloween treat, maybe for a Halloween party or something like that. Next up, because I think we all need a hand around this time of year, especially myself as busy as I've been, I got hands. These are fake severed hands, reasonably well made. They're a soft material, rubber with some sort of probably cotton stuffing inside. At a distance, they look pretty good. Up close, they're, not great, but these are good budget props. Obviously not like professional haunt sort of props, but really good for home haunting, that sort of thing. Hands. Next up, I did warn you that I wasn't going to give stellar reviews to every item in this list. The next is one that I was not particularly thrilled with. I'm really disappointed because I was looking forward to this item. It took forever for it to arrive. It was coming from overseas, I believe, and it took, I think, about a month, maybe even a little bit more than a month to arrive. And that is this Halloween Advent calendar. The first thing that was disappointing was the packaging. This thing got horribly mangled in the post. That's not the product's fault, but it does speak to the way it was delivered. The idea is you have these different doors, and behind each one is supposed to be a Halloween, little miniature Halloween doll of some sort. Obviously the doors aren't great, they don't punch out quite properly, but I'm going to open one up and you'll be able to see the first of the problems. Or the first of the problems other than the packaging, I should say. And so now here, I've opened up this door number 3, and you can see, if you look closely, that the styrofoam insert that holds the products inside does not align with the doors. And that's not limited to just this door. None of them align properly. So I'm just going to take this tray out, and you can see the rest of my disappointment, let's say. And now with this tray out, you can see even more why I was disappointed. First of all, you can see even better now just how warped and mangled this styrofoam is. Again, that's a packaging concern. But if you look closely, you'll notice that not all of these are even Halloween miniatures. Some of them are, and I like some of them, but not all of them are. And some of them are even almost duplicates. For example, while these are slightly different, I have 2 very similar pumpkins. And again, while slightly different in their design, I have 2 different ghost faces. But let me just take all of these out and do a quick count between the Halloween related ones, like this little ghost face, which I do like this one, but I'll count up the Halloween versus non-Halloween and you'll see where the problem comes in. Okay, so now I've counted 14 here. 14 of these are clearly horror or Halloween related. 2 of them, maybe. These are 2 little sort of monster faces. On a stretch, you might say they're Halloween related, but they're not really Halloween-y. They're just sort of generic monsters. So 14, clearly Halloween or horror. 2, maybe. But then 8 of them, a fairly substantial fraction, have nothing whatever to do with Halloween. There's even a Santa Claus, even a Christmas one. This is a little can of some sort of soda. I'm not quite sure why these are included with a Halloween product. And the quality of these miniatures is variable, let's say. This Jason hockey mask, I'm not going to say perfect, but I reasonably like this one. These pumpkins I quite like. On the other hand, this little Jack Skellington, I could barely tell that it is Jack Skellington, so it's a mixed bag in terms of quality. I will also point out, there's another, it's another one of these little monster faces. There's an extra little figure in here for some reason, a duplicate of one of the monster faces I already showed y'all. But I'll also point out that the design of the box itself does not match what the advertisement showed. The advertisement showed this picture where you're supposed to get this box. Instead, we got this box. It shows that we're supposed to get these figures, and a couple of them are fairly similar to what I got, but these are not the same figures that I got. So I'm not sure what exactly is happening. This is some sort of very cheap, I dare say almost a scam product. I'm not entirely disappointed. I am going to find uses for some of these little figurines, but overall I'm not pleased with this product. I don't think it was a great value for the money. This is one, unfortunately, I cannot recommend. I will still leave a link down in the What's It in case you like something that you see here, but this one was not really for me. But all is not lost. While there are a couple of products that don't really do it for me, mostly I got good stuff. And that includes this wonderful little family of skeletons. You might recognize these guys from some of my previous thumbnails. These are little, what I want to say, maybe about 12 inches, about a foot tall skeletons. They come in this pack of 4, and they're posable, so you can sit them down somewhere, you can stand them up somewhere. They're great for whatever purpose. And I have to say, you can never have too many skeletons in your house. Obviously, I've got big ones, including the Home Depot 12-foot skeleton. Dr. McCoy's always hanging around. I got plenty of skeletons. I'm perfectly happy to have 4 more members of the family. The one thing that I'll mention about these particular ones is their jaws do like to hang open a little bit, so if you want them to be closed-mouthed, you may have to put some wax or some glue or something to hold their jaws closed. Personally, I'm okay with their jaws hanging open, so no harm done. Next up is a product that is not necessarily Halloween specific. It's more general horror, but it is related to a movie that just came out just in time for Halloween. That movie is Terrifier 2, the sequel to Damon Leone's Terrifier, starring David Howard Thornton as everyone's new favorite spooky clown, Art the Clown. And so, of course, I had to get myself this. This is a 12-inch, a foot high Art the Clown doll. This is a collectible doll from Trick or Treat Studios. And I'm not sure if this is exactly 12 inches. It says it's a 1/6 scale, so it's about 12 inches high. And I really like this. It's a very well-made doll. I'm not taking it out of the box for right now, but you notice that he comes with an alternate set of hands and a little hacksaw, so you can pose him how you want. He's posable, and you can either have him holding his scalpel or holding his hacksaw. And if you've seen Terrifier 1, this is based on Terrifier 1, well, you know that he likes just about any kind of weapon, but he particularly likes his hacksaw, it would seem. Art the Clown has become one of my favorite, I think he's becoming a horror icon, frankly. He's one of my favorite characters. And Terrifier 2 is out now. It came out on October 6th in theaters. And that was a remarkable thing in and of itself, because this is a 2.5-hour long, brutal, extreme horror movie that's not rated, independent. It was made on a budget of something like $200,000, and nevertheless it managed to get a very wide theatrical release in something like 850 some theaters across the United States. It was playing at my local AMC, it was playing at some of the Regal theaters, and this is the kind of movie that you don't normally see in theaters. As a matter of fact, I've been rather gleefully reading newspaper articles about people fainting or vomiting while attending Terrifier 2. It's that kind of movie, and like I said, Art the Clown has become one of my favorite characters, so you really want to get your hands on one of these. I think they're going to be collectibles in the very near future. And even if they don't end up being super valuable investment type of collectibles, I think everyone needs a little Art the Clown in their lives. While we're on the subject of Terrifier and Art the Clown, Trick or Treat Studios has also produced Art the Clown masks. In the movies, it's a makeup job and his face is, the actor can move his face and he still has facial expressions, but if you're not a particularly skilled makeup artist, you might want a latex mask, and Trick or Treat Studios has you covered, and these are also available on Amazon. There is the Trick or Treat Studios Art the Clown mask with his little hat. It's a full head mask with a slit in the back, and very well made. It fits comfortably. Obviously, I can't wear my glasses with it. That's something I always have to worry about with masks, but I can take the glasses off and wander around as Art the Clown. They make this version, which is the standard Art the Clown makeup. They also make this version that very similar, except it has the blood stains, the blood drips on his face. So you can have either the regular or the bloody Art the Clown. These are both from Trick or Treat Studios. But a mask isn't very good without the rest of the costume. Well, Trick or Treat Studios has you covered on that as well. Also available on Amazon, there's the Art the Clown costume. This does not come with the mask, nor does it come with the clown shoes. This is the Art the Clown onesie, the one-piece clown costume. It also comes with Art the Clown's fingerless gloves. I will say, I'm a reasonably large guy, and the costume fits fine, it fits perfectly. The gloves, while they do fit, are a little bit tight. So if you're a really big guy and you've got sausage fingers, you may need to supply your own pair of gloves or somehow modify these. If you're a normal or smaller size person, these should be fine for any adult size. And I suppose I should take the costume out of the packaging as well and just show that off for a moment. And so here it is. It's got the white and black colors. Sort of a shiny material. It's very comfortable to wear, very soft. He's got his little clown poofy balls on the front. The zipper on this is in the back, so it may not be the most convenient to wear if you're the sort of person who has to consistently run off to visit the necessary. But if you've seen Terrifier 2, you've also seen how Art the Clown himself uses a coat hanger to work the zipper on the back, so perhaps you could do a little bit of role-playing. Anyway, this is a one-piece costume plus the gloves. Fits great, should fit most adults. You may also want to get a pair of big, size 50 clown shoes. Those I've not been able to find on Amazon. They do make a sort of a plastic cover, not as part of the Art the Clown costume, but just regular clown shoes, sort of a plastic cover that you could wear. They would probably look okay, but those are a hard plastic and not quite what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a real clown shoe, so that's something I'm on the lookout for. But you can get the Art the Clown costume, comes with the gloves. The masks are available separately. Art the Clown is going to be a popular costume this year and well into the future, I think, so you might want to get yourself one of these. And if you happen to need accessories for your Art the Clown costume, of course you could go and get a hacksaw. That would make a great accessory. Or if you don't want a hacksaw, you could get one of these bicycle horns. Again, this was not marketed as part of an Art the Clown costume. This is just a bicycle horn. But it's the curlicue, the spiral shape horn. It comes with hardware, so you could mount this on a bicycle handlebars. I just took that off. I don't want this on my bicycle. I just wanted one of these spiral curlicue clown horns so I could run around and terrify people dressed as Art the Clown. And while we're on the subject of Art the Clown, let me just mention, it's nothing to do with these Amazon products. I had the opportunity to interview the writer and director Damien Leone and the actor who played Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton, for my podcast, the Do You Like Scary Movies podcast. There's a link to that also down in the What's It. Be sure to check that out. I think it was one of the funniest interviews we've ever had on the podcast. These are really wonderful people, and turns out Art the Clown's a really nice guy. Well, we're doing masks and costumes. I didn't just get Art the Clown, I also got some other stuff. That includes this horned devil mask. This is not from any particular movie, just a devil mask, a really nice one, latex mask. I will admit that one of the pictures that was with this on the ad copy was not of this particular mask. It was of something different and looked a little bit better. But they did include pictures of what you actually get, so I don't feel like it was much of a scam, just maybe a little bit of a lead on. But this is actually a really nice mask as well. Again, full head mask with the slit in the back, reasonably well made. Latex is a little bit thinner than the Trick or Treat Studios ones, like the Art the Clown masks, but a pretty good devil mask, so if you're looking for that, I would be happy to recommend this one as well. And as you can see, it passes the Dr. McCoy test, so a good devil mask. The next, I managed to get another costume. This is a Ghostface costume, and this comes with the sort of robe with the big sleeves that Ghostface wears, as well as the mask. And it's sort of, it's just a face mask, but you put the hood over it or a cowl or something, and it looks pretty good. This does not come with gloves or anything, doesn't come with any accessories. I would recommend pairing this with the correct knife. The correct knife is the Buck 120. In fact, I made a whole video about it. You can check that out as well. But as long as you're going somewhere where they're not going to freak out if you're carrying a knife, if you're going to dress as Ghostface, this is a pretty good costume. This is a great start, but accessorize properly and carry the Buck 120. Anyway, this is also sort of a one-size-fits-all adult costume. I needed a Ghostface costume, so I finally got one. And lastly, in the costume department, I got this, which you can't really see what it is, so I'll have to take it out of the packaging. This is Michael Myers' one-piece jumpsuit. Has pockets, zips in the front. Again, one size fits most adults. I have my doubts that this is officially licensed, but it looks pretty good. I already have a Michael Myers mask, so if you're looking to dress as Michael Myers, you might get yourself one of these. And again, I'll point out, very comfortable, soft material, and because this one has pockets, thank God for Michael Myers, his costume has pockets. So if you're going someplace where you need to carry your phone, your wallet, whatever it is that you need to carry, this is a costume that has pockets built in, and they don't need to try to hide them because they're part of the design. Next up are these Halloween yard decorations. These are skulls with, I don't know if that's a raven or a crow on top of his head. I'm going to go with a raven probably. In any case, skulls with corvids on top of their heads and little stakes so you can put them down in the ground. They also have these little solar panels that fold down. These are light up devices. Let me try the switch. No, it's been sitting inside for a little bit too long, so they don't have a charge right now, but if it had a charge, if this had been out in the sun, these do light up. And it's just a light bulb on the inside, so the skull lights up. They look really nice. And because they have the little solar panels, you don't need to worry about batteries, which is mostly a good thing. Obviously right now I'd rather have the batteries so that I could just turn it on without having to worry about charging up the solar cell. But a good, if you're putting it outside, you don't need to worry about changing the batteries. I quite like these little skulls with ravens on their heads. They come in a pack of 2, so if you want to line your whole driveway with them or something, you're going to need to buy a bunch of these. But if you just want to put them, for example, in the corners of your garden or something, 1 pack of 2 should suffice. Next up, it's just not an Amazon haul without some reading material and some viewing material. These are not part of my Halloween reads for this year. I'm making another video about those. In fact, I'm filming that the same day as I'm filming this one. I'm not sure which one's going to be out first, so you may or may not have already seen my recommended Halloween reads by the time you see this video. Time will tell. But while I was placing Amazon orders, I had to pick myself up a little bit more to read and to watch. The first of those, I finally tracked down a DVD of the complete series of The Real Ghostbusters. This was the 1980s into the early 90s animated cartoon Ghostbusters show. No, it's not as good as the movies, except for that 2016 one. It's certainly better than that one. But this is a pretty good show. It's a lot of fun. Great thing to watch if you have children. I needed to have a copy, so I finally picked up a copy of that. And I also picked up, well, not specifically a Halloween book. I picked this up on a recommendation. That's a book called The Zombie Autopsies. I'm told that this is a really interesting book. This book is written by a medical doctor, and from what I understand, this is a medical-heavy, science-heavy treatment of the idea of zombies. It is a fiction, it is a work of fiction, it's a novel, but a novel inspired by more of a scientific approach, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And then I also got, this was one of the things I got for purposes of review, this is a lot, sort of a grab bag of a bunch of indie comic books. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because if you were to buy one of these lots of indie comic books, you'd probably get different ones. They're sort of a grab bag, but it's a nice big stack of comic books, and there's some reasonably good stuff in here. For example, here's a couple John Carpenter's Asylum, a couple of issues of that. So this is not all horror stuff. It's not specifically for Halloween, but if you're looking for a deal on some comic books just to expand your collection and you're willing to take a bit of a gamble on what you're going to get, I think these grab bags are actually a pretty good way to go. Next up, I have this, and I haven't actually taken it out of the box yet, so I'm going to do that now. Looks like it comes in several small pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble this, and then you'll see this happen in just the blink of an eye. It's probably going to take me a couple minutes, but the next time you see me, you will see this fully assembled, and then I'll talk about it. All right, and here they are. They are these little skeletal zombie hands on top of sort of a little ring of skulls holding candles. This is a battery-powered thing. Comes with a little battery pack here, and batteries were not included. It takes 3 AA's, which I just had to run and grab, but I've got batteries in it so you can see what it does. So there you go. It's on, they flicker, they go on. You can set it on a timer setting, on or off. And each of them comes with one of these little spikes. You can shove this up the backside and it's got a spike, so you could put these in the ground, line a garden with them, line a driveway with them. Comes with 5, and there's a fair amount of reach between each one. So you could line your driveway with these as long as your driveway's not ridiculously long. Or, in fact, you could just leave them very much like this, maybe on your bookcase or something, and you don't have to use the spikes if you don't want to. I will say, overall, I'm pleased with them. I think they look good once they're set up. They were horribly tangled when they first came out of the box, so that's one thing to be aware of, and of course you'll have to supply your own batteries. But overall, I'm pleased with these. And finally, the end for this video, but of course not the end for this channel, so make sure you stick around for all kinds of other Halloween things and horror things in general all through the year. We're not just spooky at Halloween, we're spooky all year long here. But the last thing for this video is this little parcel. I'm actually quite pleased with the way it's packaged, with bubble wrap and some straw, and it's got a little knot tied in it. So let me open this up and I'll show you what's in it. Okay, there it is. Let's open this up. What this is a collection of Halloween miniatures. So we've got a little stack of pumpkins. We have a little, kind of like Ghostface, a little, maybe a trick-or-treater or a ghost. We have another little ghost, and this one's hand came off, unfortunately, but just a drop of super glue will fix that, so I just need to be careful not to lose this tiny little piece until I have a chance to get back upstairs and glue it. No real harm done there. I'm actually impressed with the packaging overall. Unfortunately, sometimes these things just happen. We also have another little pumpkin-headed guy carrying a lantern. Another little ghost guy with a witch's hat. We have here a haunted house. A nice little haunted house. Another little pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern with a witch's hat. And another little jack-o'-lantern. So a nice little collection. They're all packaged again, as I said, packaged very well on this little bed of straw in this little package. I don't know what I'm going to do. I probably won't end up keeping them in this package, although I actually sort of like the packaging. But it seems to me that all of us Halloween sort of people just need little things like this to just leave around the house. Maybe on your bookcase or on top of your piano if you have a piano, or by the front door somewhere, or on your desk. It just seems like we need these little Halloween-y kinds of miniature things to leave around. So I'm quite pleased with this little set here. And so there you have it. There's my Halloween haul from Amazon for 2022. That brings us to the end of this video, but thankfully not to the end of spooky season, so stay tuned for something else this Halloween. But until then, as always, Take care and stay scared.